Alright, so let's start with some T-smokes. For the first few smokes, we're going to have to go to a construction. The first smoke line we're going to do is to smoke off the left side of mid, there. So to do that, you want to come behind here, get into the corner like this, go up to where this line, top of the line, just left click throw, and it will fall down just like that, block off the entire left side, and then you can do other things like throw grenades and whatnot. Okay, so if you want to smoke off the right hand side, all you have to do is come up, press against this little corner as far as you can go, and then line up with this, jump throw, up like that, and it will fall down just like that. When you do the jump throw, you don't want to throw it as powerful as most jump throws, otherwise it will hit the ceiling barrier. So you want to like jump then throw in a way, but basically at the same time. So if you do it like that, it will hit the ceiling and then bounce down way too soon. I guess if you want to smoke off car, that works too though. Obviously this isn't the best smoke for smoking off the right side of mid, because you will be very vulnerable. But if say someone's holding slightly further back here with an AWP, then it works. A good flash you can use from construction is if someone's house watching you with an AWP, they might be top floor or mid. You can stand here and literally just line up with the middle bit, left click throw, it pops over, flashes here, and this is basically gets everyone, no matter whereabouts in house they're looking. It flashes everywhere. Okay, now time for a few CT grenades. So a great one to do when you're starting the round, especially at lower ranks to catch them off guard. If you just grab a high explosive grenade and you run towards this bit just outside of house. You run towards here from spawn, and just before you get to this wall, you left click throw, aiming roughly at the leaves, the grenade, and the grenade will land on top of this boost rock. So as they're rushing, say mid, the grenade will hit them. So just to repeat it, throw it like that, it lands above boost rock. You can throw it left or right, depending on how high up you want it to go, up onto boost rock. And with the timing, so the grenades should land there just as they're reaching it if they go straight towards it. Another good smoke you can do when you're CT is to, if you want to say go mid or go into house any other way than basement, you can smoke, run up to it, and just left click into the window, and it will throw the smoke just in this doorway here, so it blocks off this window from seeing you, which allows you to then either come through this door and then go up the stairs, or a quicker way is to just jump into the window like that. Whichever way you go, they will hear you though, and you'd have to be careful because sometimes, even if the smoke's here, the enemy team does occasionally push around and try and catch you off guard, so you usually have to be careful of that, especially if there's two of you. If you perfect the smoke line up, just experiment with it a bit to see whereabouts it lands, but occasionally, there we go, just like that, you can smoke off this bit as well, and if you do it perfectly, it'll completely cover up this midsection. So even if they do try and cut you off, they won't be able to see you, and you'll be able to safely go upstairs, or even if you want to basement, you'll be able to go there safely. A pretty easy but useful flashbang is, say you want to go outside and peek outside, literally while you're running that, just lob a flashbang into the air, and anyone else that's going outside will most likely be flashed by that, unless they've somehow managed to hide behind an object like this. But by that time they're out in the open, they get flashed. Or even if they're rushing or boost rock, the flash will still get them and it will slow them down. So then you can then peek outside and potentially get a free kill. Okay, I'm now going to move on to some smokes that are good for both teams. So if you want to get into basement, say your teammates drop the bomb and there's an enemy guarding inside here. If neither door is open, or say this door at least isn't open, and you want to enter, Okay, line yourself up this pillar, just to the right hand side of this door here. Aim straight forward, just to the right hand side. Left click throw, quickly turn around, open the door. Flash will flash pretty much. This will pretty much get every angle, even if they're all the way back here. Depending on how hard you do it. You can even run throw just to make it go further into the basement. It's just a quick way to easily flash. And then as soon as you do that, you can easily peek, get a pick, get an easy kill. This works the exact same on the other side. Just come to this pillar here, line up again, aim to the left side, quickly open the door. This does get slightly into here, into the water there. But even from pretty much every angle, even if they're in this corner here, they'll still be able to see it. The one spot where they might not be able to see either of them flashbangs is if they're behind the boat like this, or if they're hiding from an angle like here. So maybe just before you flash, say you want to flash this side, just take a quick little peek, make sure they're not in any of them spots. Okay, a great flash that works for both teams. If you want to flash outside, say your top floor, your teammate's outside, and he wants you to flash for him, out this window here. It doesn't matter if it's broken or if it's not. This one is from before. But this flash will go through this left hand side window, but it doesn't matter if it's broken or not. Make sure the door's open. This is vulnerable, leaves you in a vulnerable spot. So just make sure you're not likely to get shot from any other angle. Make sure it's clear before you try this. But line up, go as far as you can into this banister forward. I can't go any more that direction. So then see where this line meets with this line. You want to go up here, just above the halfway point. Left click through. Not like that, I accidentally right click through. Left click through. It will bounce off here and fall down out into the open, still high up, and it catches everyone off guard, even if they're all the way up here. Okay, this next set of grenades work with pretty much all grenades, useful with pretty much all grenades as well. But say you're top floor and you want to hold mid floor, say you have a bomb planted somewhere down here and the other team starts defusing it, and you're not sure whether they're faking it or not, so you don't want to peek it. A good thing to do is throw grenades down, whether it's mollies or high explosives or maybe even a flashbang. So this first lineup, if they're planting or defusing in this by counter, left side of counter, depending on which way you're looking at it. If they're planting or defusing here, you can simply come over to here. If you, I'll use a high explosive just for this, but it works with a molly as well. You want to line up, get as close as you can to this, and you'll see a little gap in this far banister. You'll see a gap where there's a thing missing. So just look towards that, literally right in the middle of it. Left click through. It'll bounce there and then fall down right into this corner and explode in the face. This also works for molly, as you can see. Like that. It doesn't look like it goes far this way, but if you get close enough to plant, then it will damage you. Also, if you have two teammates, one of you can be stood over here, one of you can be stood over there, and there's actually two lineups for each of the corners, and in the centre that I will be showing you. So you will be able to also do that corner smoke from over there, which I'll show you in a second. Plant in this corner, all you have to do is get as close as you can to this little table here, and then you want to go down from the right hand side of this door. You'll see a little banister thing there sticking down. Go slightly below that until you get to this other banister, then go slightly down that, roughly where I am. Try it a few times, test it out. It's roughly about a third of the way down. Simply left click throw, and again it will hit this corner. Alright, the next grenade's going to land in this corner here. So if you go up to here, Go right in this corner here. Actually no, slightly to the, so go in this corner. And then go to the right a bit, so you're roughly in the middle of the armchair. Then aim for the middle section of this. So just in the middle here. Left click throw once again. And the grenade will hit this, fall down, and get right in the corner. Right next to where the person's planting. And the final corner, this one here, next to this table thing. Just go next to this armchair again. This one you want to stay right in this corner. And then see where you can see these three things that go up to the banister. Just go right in the middle, cross section, left click again, and the grenade will fall perfectly into it. It will go into this slightly, but even if they're planting here, it will still damage them a lot. And again, it will work with a molly, just like all of these. Okay, so another common spot where people go is in this section. So I'm going to show you the exact same grenade lineups, but from this area. So again, to go to this corner here, you want to go to this middle section here, crouch down, you want to line up where the banister meets the wall like so, slowly walk, and then right click when you get up to this section, and it will drop down and land roughly near the corner. You can, if you want to get more accurate, you can aim slightly left. Is it there? You do have to be careful. Yeah, so that would work. That would probably hit the person who's planting anyway. You have to be careful when you do go up, because as soon as you go up to here, they may be able to see the top of your head and then easily get a headshot on you. So just be careful. You can stop earlier if you want, and it still works just as well, if not better, because it might hook that and then go further into the corner. Alright, next one's for this corner again. Okay, so you want to line yourself up with this middle section here. Aim where this cushion is, just roughly, it doesn't have to be exact. Just run through. You'll see it will bounce from that wall back onto this wall and fall down into this corner here, molly the entire section off. Alright, this next lineup is for perfectly underneath this area, this corner. This one's planting or diffusing here. Okay, so what you want to do is line up with the middle section of this, come back to here, crouch, so you're slow walking, or slow walk, but crouch is probably safer because you're less likely to get a headshot. Just walk up to it, right click through, and it'll take it won't take too much practice, but I suggest experiment before you go into a game so you can get it correct. It will just bounce off this wall and fall straight down into this corner and perfectly hit the person if they're planting right in this corner. So the last one's going to be for this corner again. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to line up in front of this cushion or seat, whatever, and aim just to the left of this, so it's in the middle of the wall section, same height as this, but in the middle of the wall from what you can see through this window. Crouch, walk up to it, and when you get close, right click throw. You don't want to hit that because it'll slow down your momentum and then it won't work. But just before you hit it, I failed there. Just before you hit it, right click throw, it'll bounce off this wall straight into this corner, and does again work with a molly.